What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Tim Sports Talk. And today we got another W in the books for the Washington football team, 17-15 over the Las Vegas Raiders. We went to their house and we went in and did our game plan, running the football, completing it on third downs, just dominating the time of possessions. And we did it our way, and we won it again. It was a nitty-gritty, ugly game, up and down. We ended up giving the lead back right there at the last second, and then took it back. The game is ours, 17-15, 4 in a row in Washington. I mean, I know I did it. I was down on this team. I said we're screwed. We suck. We don't have a chance. You know, there's so much to it. But Ron Rivera, Scott Turner have created the game plan. Not even created, they just went to it. You know, this has been a long time coming. Joe Gibbs era stuff. Even before that. Control the time of possession and just complete passes when you need it, okay? I mean, complete balance. Look at the box score here. 30 pass attempts for Heineke, 30 rush attempts for the run game. That is exactly what you want to do when you are a football team like us, when we don't have a top-tier quarterback, we don't have a plethora of weapons through the air, but we have a solid running back, we have a really solid offensive line. You know, even with them banged up, where they're well-coached, well-organized, and we know how to run the football, and we did it today. Antonio Gibson, 23 carries for 88 yards, and he came out firing immediately on the opening drive. We got a 22-yard run from Gibson. Then we got a 23-yard pass on play action to John Bates. And we end up getting a one-handed touchdown to Logan Thomas. Right out of the gate, we go up 7-0. And then we don't give the lead back all the way until about 2 minutes and 22 seconds remaining in the game. The Raiders clawed their way back and ended up taking the lead 15-14. They failed a two-point conversion to tie it up earlier. And so that was a big difference. Hey, two failed two-point conversions by our opposing teams, and we end up winning the 2 weeks in a row, 17-15. Who would have predicted that? I mean, good grief. A 5 is so rare in the NFL unless you get 35 points, and it's a 17-15 game twice in a row. I wonder how many teams have had a 17-15 final score. This might be the first time in history, honestly. It's probably one of those weird off stats that nobody actually cares about, right? But no, going through the stats here, Taylor Heineke, 23 for 30, 196 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. He was sacked one time, and the one sack was horrible. I mean, he just sat there and waited until they sacked him. I mean, he was literally back there for maybe 6 seconds, and it's just looking. He didn't try to escape or anything. He just literally sat there until finally the pocket collapsed and got on top of him. But hey, he only took 1 sack all day, so I'll take it. Derek Carr for the Raiders, 28 for 38, 249 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. He was slicing and dicing our zone. They were doing a good job against the zone, but the defense buckled down and didn't allow them to get too many touchdowns. They only got 1 touchdown on the day. So when they got near our side of the field, we buckled down and forced some field goals. So then on the ground, Josh Jacobs, 13 carries, 52 yards, and a touchdown. We already talked about Gibby's 23 carries and 88 yards. Those were the leading rushers for each team today. Leading receivers, we got Hunter Renfrow for the Raiders. He's been having a phenomenal season. 9 catches, 102 yards on the day. And that's just what he does. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, we just let Hunter Renfrow do his job. Hey, dude, he's been doing it to everybody they play. They throw it to him so often, underneath stuff, consistently, especially on third down. And he did his thing again today. Logan Thomas was our leading receiver. 3 catches, 48 yards, and a touchdown. Unfortunately, Logan Thomas kind of had a dirty hit. He tore his ACL. He is going to be out of the rest of the year. Yannick Ngakoue was the guy that did it. Potentially a fine maybe coming his way, but I don't think it was an illegal hit because of it was still in the box, so I don't think a flag should be thrown. But still, man, there was no reason. You were out of the play. It wasn't in dire need. There's no reason to cut him down like that and end up injuring a player out for the entire year. Really going to hurt our offense from here on out. John Bates had 3 catches for 42 yards. Terry McLaurin, man, 3 catches, 22 yards. We're just not getting him enough targets. We're just not. We got to do more, right? We were trying to go deep to him one time, and it ended up Heineke got his arm hit. That's where the interception came from, trying to force it into Terry. But the Raiders were loading the box, especially in the second and third quarter after we gashed them in the first quarter. That has to mean you have a lot of one-on-one opportunities. And Casey Hayward Jr. is not a bad corner, so I don't want to act like they don't have a good corner that can try to go one-on-one, mano-a-mano with Terry McLaurin. But Terry McLaurin should still be able to win some of those matchups, or some of those one-on-ones. So we got to give him a chance. Maybe run some more slants, run some just straight-up fade routes, just go routes and see what you can do. Give him an opportunity. And he should be getting 10 targets a game. We talk about this every single week, and he's just not getting enough targets. 5 targets when one of them was a tipped pass is just not nearly enough. He did draw a pass interference call as well, or a holding call early in the game. But again, it was only going to be maybe a 10-yard pass, nothing too deep. But I also want to see us get some jet sweeps going, get him some screens, get him some. There's many ways to get your best player the football. We got to find more ways to get him the football. Josh Jacobs also had 9 catches, 38 yards for them. Denzel Perryman was the leading tackler for the Raiders, 12 tackles on the day. Diablo also had 11 tackles. Cole Holcomb, the leading tackler for Washington, and 8 tackles for Kendall Fuller. That's way too many. And Jamin Davis continues to disappoint, man. He had so many missed tackles. He's playing way too slow. It's a mental game with him. He's got to be able to play more free and more just loose, because right now, whatever he's doing ain't it right now for Jamin Davis. Bobby McCain had a couple of big plays where one of them he knocked the ball out of Brian Edwards' hands early in the game. That was big. And then he didn't get called for the pass interference on the final play. I know a lot of Raiders fans are going to be upset about that call. And honestly, that call could have gone either way. If they would have thrown the flag, they would have had justification. There was a little bit of jersey grabbing there. But the no call, I don't hate the no call. Obviously, I don't hate the no call. I'm a Skins fan. But it would have been kind of bailing him out. You took a deep shot to Zay Jones, and it was just a crazy throw downfield. It was weird. You didn't need to go for it like that. And then that wasted so much time. I don't think it was a good decision, to be honest. Obviously, if you get the call, you get bailed out. But Washington's also been on the end of that, the crappy end of that stick so many times, whether they get called for the pass interference, or you think about the Seahawks a few years ago with Josh Doxson, the first one that comes off the top of my head, or not against Seahawks, against Houston, where both teams were 6-3, trying to move to 7-3. We should have got the pass interference. You think this was a pass interference? This other one was way more obvious a pass interference. They were hanging on him like a freaking drape. It was ridiculous. But didn't get the call. It happens. But justifiably, if you're a Raiders fan, I understand that you're upset about it. You would like to try to come out with a win here, and that call would have easily handed you guys the win. But I think that you guys should have just went. You were slicing and dicing our zone all day long. Why are you taking a deep shot with 30 seconds left when, honestly, you had one timeout? I think you had enough time to get into field goal range. You got to the 47-yard line of your own. Instead of taking that huge deep shot and wasting time, take a few more opportunities of going short. You could have got 2 more plays out of that and easily got to the 35-yard line. All you needed was 18 more yards, and you have a 53-yard opportunity for Carlson. So I just think it was a bad play call by Garcia and the offensive coordinator. Let's see. Let's go back to the team stats. Washington continues to win the time of possession battle, as I talked about. This is their bread and butter now. We have 4 wins in a row. 4 straight games of us winning the time of possession. You can see here nearly 34 minutes to 26 minutes on the clock. But the Raiders did a good job of keeping us true, because they held the ball quite some time too. But you can see here, look at this. In the first half, 1, 2, 3, 4 drives. That's it. This one doesn't count. It was literally we just got the ball and knelt it. That's not a drive. We only had 4 drives because both teams were holding the ball for a while. 5.5-minute drive, 3.5-minute drive, 3-minute drive. They had a quick drive here for 1 minute, but then a 3-minute drive for us, a 6-minute drive for them, 6-minute drive for us, and a minute and a half right before the halftime where they got a field goal. So that was money there. Then in the second half, again, 1, 2, 3, 4 drives for Washington. 17 points on 8 drives is actually not that bad. A lot of people don't realize that, okay? We only had 8 opportunities. The average NFL game is probably like 12. So we literally had 2/3 of a game compared to everybody else because it was just long drive after long drive after long drive coming from both teams. Even this interception drive took 4 minutes and 8 seconds on the clock before we finally threw that pick that we already talked about. And again, this minute and 45, this was our shortest drive of the game, but we used 2 timeouts to get the field goal, right? Or the Raiders used their 2 timeouts, excuse me. So, like, this could have been easily another 3-minute drive if the Raiders don't use their 2 timeouts because it's toward the end of the game. So we were just controlling the time of possession consistently, but the Raiders were hanging right with us. And they were doing it in a completely different way. You can see they had 38 pass attempts to 16 rushing attempts where we were way more balanced. And that is the key to our success. We don't have a great quarterback. We don't have a top-tier offense. And we never did. A lot of people are so upset at how bad our offense is playing, quote unquote. Honestly, I think our offense is playing incredibly right now. But you have to understand where the offense is. Okay, we don't have a great quarterback. Our offensive line is beat up. Curtis Samuel's still not healthy. Terry McLaurin's not getting the ball enough, which sucks. That is something you can criticize. But Antonio Gibson's not a top-tier running back like everybody thought he was going to be. Like, I didn't think he was going to be, but I know that he has the potential to be because he has the physical attributes, but he's not a true running back. He still has a lot to learn to be a actual running back in this league, but he has the physical tools. He's 6 foot, 220 pounds, runs a sub 4.4. Those are there. But as far as a guy that understands the position, he's not even close. He only had like 35 rushing attempts in college. He was a receiver at college, but Memphis had like 5 of the same type of player. All of them like between 5'10 and 6 foot, 190 and 220 pounds. They all played the exact same weight, super quick, super fast. And they had so many different guys out there that they were like, you know what? Antonio Gibson's so talented. We can't really seem to use him in the pass game at the moment because we have so many other options. Let's just hand him the football. And he ended up scoring like every 7 plays in college. So he has that explosive ability, but he doesn't have the natural understanding of how to let the holes develop. He's learning, but he doesn't have those natural abilities. So he's still got ways to go there. So this offense wasn't meant to be great. If you had we were going into the game or going into the season with a 39-year-old Ryan Fitzpatrick. Yeah, that's the kind of offense we were supposed to have. So Taylor Heineke's obviously doing better than what I think Ryan Fitzpatrick would have done, but this is the kind of offense we need to run, and it's working. Calm down. I know we only scored 17 points the last 2 games. Hey, letting the defense get rest, and that's a huge reason why the defense is playing so much better. It's because they are not getting gassed on the field all the time. Like, we haven't had one of these in a while where we just had like a quick 3 and out that took a minute off the clock, and all of a sudden we're just giving it right back to the defense. Right? We saw that so many times in that 2-6 start. Not happening anymore, and that is the key to our success. But yeah, this was an up and down nitty-gritty game, man. Nitty-gritty. As I said, we scored in the opening drive. We ended up having a 7-3 halftime score. Guess what? No matter what the score is, as long as you have more points than your opponent, it still goes in the win column all the same. We're sitting right now at 6-6 now. We're actually moved all the way up to the 6th seed in the playoffs since the San Francisco 49ers lost. I mean, that's incredible. But yeah, we're now in the 6th seed in the driver's seat. We have 5 division games left. We got the Eagles twice, Dallas twice, and the Giants in the order of Dallas, Eagles, and the Giants to finish the year. I think we can easily go 3-2, and if we go 3-2, that puts us at 9-8. That almost cements us in one of the wild card spots. That should be a guarantee if we go 3-2. If we go 4-1, now we're talking, do we actually win the division? The Cowboys right now are sitting at 8-4. It would be tough if one of those losses came against Dallas. That, we would have to probably sweep Dallas to take the division, because they would have 2 losses against us and probably a loss against the Cardinals. And so then the other 2 wins, they could be sitting at 10-7, and then we would be sitting at 10-7 if we get 4 out of the last 5. So it's possible to win the division, but obviously much less likely. We have 2 games behind, but hey, anything's possible, and who knows? Who knows what happens in the last 5 games of the year? That's why they put the division games towards the end, and it should be a lot of fun to see how we finish. But hey, we have a whole different tune here in Washington, and with the 4-game winning streak, it's incredible, including beating the Super Bowl champions. Sky's the limit. Anything's possible. And hey, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Also in the description below, there's a Discord link. Hop on our Discord and come talk some football with us. Last but not least, there are donation links in the description below. If you feel so kind, you could donate to the channel. Also, there is a second channel in the description. Subscribe to our second channel, the Tim and Jarris Sports Talk. We got some content going on over there. But hey, thanks again for watching to the end. Hail, baby. Till next time. See ya!